have just put on the largest psychedelic medicine conference that the world has ever seen. How do you feel?
It's pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah, we had great support from a lot of the people in the community, yourselves included. And really just good vibes all around. People really enjoyed themselves, I think. And good to have that human experience again after being locked up for so long, you know?
Yeah, you're running around, you're absorbing a lot of information, managing a lot of people. What's the general feeling that you're getting from speakers and panelists and really just event attendees about what this actually means, the gravity of this?
Yeah, I think it's excitement generally and sincere gratitude for, being able to, a lot of people that work in this industry work in it for a reason. They've got a personal connection, family, friend, that kind of thing. And so sharing these stories, I think, is really important. And people are just really stoked about having that stage to get it out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It feels like this conference is almost feeling itself as it creates itself. There's a lot of reverence, right? People meeting for the first time. There's a lot of deep respect, and there's also a lot of care and consideration that's being put into conversations that people are having. It seems like there's this undertone of we want to get this right.
Yes, yeah, definitely, and a lot of homage to the cannabis industry not getting it right.
Well, that's what it is.
So I think there is that. And the thing that I point out often is there seems to be a lot less ego in this industry. There still can be the ego shows here and there, but because psychedelics really help you do that work to get past yourself, it does seem like it's kind of a greater good. Everyone's trying to do the work together to get the job done, because we've got some serious problems to solve here.
Definitely. I think it's really encouraging when you hear people, at least conversations that I've been overhearing, constantly checking in, being like, okay, we know that this is, there's capitalists here.
Yeah, exactly.
People want to make money, but there is still a lot of, like I said, consideration around how to do that properly, and also to pay respects. There's lots of conversations around how do we make sure that we don't lose track of Indigenous communities and where this medicine came from, and supporting Indigenous organizations. So how have you kind of woven that into the fabric of this conference?
Yeah, just doing the best to support. There's people that started this industry. Like MAPS is 32 years old and I'm 29, so I'm standing on the shoulders of giants here. And so we've given away a lot of free sponsorships to nonprofits and charities, and made sure that we emphasize diversifying our speaker lineup as much as possible. And even there was a good question on one of the Capital panels yesterday from a shaman from Peru, and it was like, having that open access to information and not shying away from hard conversation topics, I think, is gonna be more beneficial long term. So really, we're kind of open to whatever. Like this is a community. And there's been ancient traditions for millennia. So one of the things, I often refer to this as the suits versus the roots, but it doesn't have to be versus, because look, it's gonna get capitalized. There's companies, these are inevitable forces of the society that we live in today. But when you include these people in the conversation from the get-go, you get better answers, because it's not talking at somebody, it's talking with somebody, and so we've seen that on stage. There's companies that are doing good things, being the right actors. I like to discount companies that are actually doing good work, that kind of thing. So we make it as accessible as we can, and we gave away a bunch of scholarship tickets, and just made sure that we supported MAPS primarily as best we could, to make sure that everyone's kind of winning out of this. Yeah.
Has there been anything in particular that has surprised you? I know you're so inundated, and this is your life. You're really immersed in this world. So maybe something catching you off guard doesn't happen very often. But have you heard anything while you've been kind of roaming around, or listened to any of the talks that has been really affirming for you in the work that you're doing?
I don't think, nothing in specific that I liked Juan Pablo from New Life on the Capital panel, where he kind of just said, he's like, look, I sold a $700 million company. He doesn't need to be working, but he said our company bottom line is not based on profits, it's based on how many people we can help. So they did 1,000 and then 2,000 and then it's 10,000, and it's like, I love hearing corporations, and they're doing well financially too. And it's like when you put the passion and profit can intersect as long as purpose is rooted in the bottom of it. And so it's not surprising to me, but it's good to see that is happening and it's a focal point of the conversation.
Maybe this question, it will kind of evolve over time for you, or the answer will at least, but is there anything that you would do differently that you're already flagging that you're like, that's a slight adjustment that could be made?
Oh yeah, we're gonna start the conference a little later next year. People like to party. So that, I mean, the food and drink and venue is a tricky one because we agreed to COVID regulations. It's the only way we could make this happen. So there was a little bit of uncertainty there, and like I get it, you want to be comfortable and that kind of thing. So we'll, and then I think probably the really detailing out where everything is, because like you said earlier, like this conference was built in real time. We launched it actually in the peak of like COVID cases in Miami a couple months ago, and like I said, we're doing this because duration curve and all that. So I don't think there's anything I would do necessarily differently if we were to go back, because it's what we could have done. But we've got an incredible team. They're really hardworking and like experts in each lane, so we know what we need to do to make sure it's flawless next time. Hopefully, any of the issues that arose, were dealt with behind the scenes well enough that nobody noticed.
There we go. There we go.
Problem solving is key.
Thank you so much, Patric, for putting this on and bringing such a good group together.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you. Should we hug? Let's hug.
All right.
Aww. Love it.